Okay, inshallah, everybody should be able to hear. In alhamdulillah. What? Let me fix this. Hold on for a second. Just want to make sure I got the right thing. Oh boy. In alhamdulillah, wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulullah. Welcome to our first class for today. This is our Aqidah class. And inshallah, tonight we'll be continuing with the book Diluting Wala Wal Bara, Volume 2. I got the wrong one. I thought I changed to the right one and I didn't. This is Diluting Wala Wal Bara, Volume 2. Volume 2 by Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid. For those of you who have not yet purchased Volume 2, please go to Amazon.com and purchase a copy of this book. It's only $19.99. And if you did not buy the first book, get that one too. Volume 1 and Volume 2, because this whole series should be a part of every English-speaking Muslim's library, because what Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid did was broke down in great detail the whole meaning of that shahada that we pronounce every day, and most of us do not know what we are testifying to. You're living in a society where you're surrounded by Okay. Can y'all hear me and see me on YouTube? I mean, on Zoom. Wait a minute. Let me put my thing on. Wait a minute. Join with computer audio. Okay. Hold on for a second. All right. Can y'all see me on this one? Hold on. Let me try something. Can y'all see in here? Hello, is there anybody there on?
Yes, we can see you. We can see you.
Okay, let me try something because my internet is gone berserk because of the weather here. So I'm doing something different. All right. And okay, let me go back to the what's that thing I'm using? Okay, let me see something here for the people. Now, so I need somebody to watch on YouTube now. Let me know if you see me on YouTube. Are you on there, Famay?
Yeah, I'm on YouTube too.
Okay, hold on. Do y'all see me on YouTube now?
Yeah, I'm on YouTube.
Okay, I need y'all to watch because my internet is gone berserk because of this weather. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay. Okay, hold on. Just give me a second, guys. Y'all, this is what happens when you run your own show and you got this. It's really bad, the weather here where I live. Thank God I got more than one internet and more than one computer. Just give me a second. I got to do this. Okay, I'm going to come back and zoom on this one here. And I'm going to cut the sound on that. Yeah, cut the sound off. Okay, you ready? Yeah. It's two Laylas. Okay. Continue. And that one. Okay. Now, okay, it's two of me right now. Should go down to just one. Okay, that's one. Oh, look at this. This is weird. Looking at myself on all these computers. Okay, now, one more thing. Just in case. Okay, so that's that one. Now back to this one. Let's get my PowerPoint on here. Is that my PowerPoint? Wait a minute, let me find my PowerPoint for here. Wala Bara, there it is. Okay, I think I'm ready now. Okay, well, let me set this computer up now like I had that one. Okay, PowerPoint, download, open. Zoom, open. And here I go to this now. I know I froze up. Give me a second. I know I froze myself up. Hold on. Okay, here I go now. Again, one day I'm gonna have somebody help me do this stuff, so I don't have to work all these different computers. All right, now we're going. Ina alhamdulillah wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulullah. Welcome to our first class for today, which is our Aqidah class. And alhamdulillah, we've been studying from the book entitled Diluting Wala Wal Bara. This is volume 2. This is volume 2 by Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid. And as I was saying earlier, anyone who has not purchased the book yet, please go to Amazon.com and purchase it. This book and volume 1 should be a part of every English-speaking Muslim's dictionary. Library, because most Muslims do not understand the meaning of the Shahada. They don't understand its implications, and that's why we're not practicing our religion the way we should today. That's why the average Muslim doesn't even know the lawful and the unlawful. That's why the average Muslim has fallen very, very short in their allegiance to Allah, their allegiance to each other too, and their allegiance to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So yesterday was a very powerful class, because yesterday what we set out to do was to break down and explain a part of our religion, a component of our religion that many Muslims do not understand, and that is the Fitrah, Fitrah, the Fitrah. When we speak about the Fitrah, what are we speaking about? We're speaking about that part of the soul, that part of ourselves, in other words, that recognizes the truth, that part of our soul that craves to worship Allah, because the soul is created and is criminal by nature. Allah tells us that in the Quran, the human soul is criminal by nature. That means it's attracted to those things that are bad for it. It's attracted to those things that are dirty. Why? Because Allah created all the souls after he created Adam, alayhi salam. After Allah created Adam and had his soul blown into him, Allah ran his hand across the back of Adam and all the souls of his offspring. That means you, me, every human being from then until the end of time was created. Their souls, our souls were created. And then Allah gathered all the souls together on Mount Arafat. And he had all the souls testify to La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. In other words, Allah had all the souls testify that only he is the one worthy of worship. And then after Allah had the souls, all of our souls testify to that, he then offered us free will. He had offered free will to the angels when he had created them. And Allah created the angels long before us. The angels turned it down. Okay? He even offered it to the sun and to the moon. When he created them, they turned it down. He then offered free will to the souls of the animals, the birds, the dogs, and the deer and the fish. They turned it down. But when he created the soul of the jinn are the offspring of Shaitan. They were created before us too. The jinn accepted it. They accepted free will. And so then after them, Allah created Adam, brought all the souls of Adam's progeny forward. Me, you, all of us on the day of, on the Mount Arafat. And he offered us free will and we accepted it too. So that's why human beings and jinn, out of all of Allah's creation, we are the only two of his creations that are going to be held accountable. The animals are not held accountable. The angels are not. The El Hurin, the trees, the sun, the moon, none of that. Because all the rest of Allah's creation, they turned down free will. Free will is the ability to choose, because they knew that had they accepted it, that they would be held accountable. But man and jinn, we're ignorant. Man and jinn are ignorant. Our two species was stupid and chose to accept it. So we are held accountable for our actions. Everybody understand that? So after the souls, those are the souls of every human being. After we all accepted it, Allah then took the souls and put them wherever they are to this day. Only Allah knows where they are. but they have been where they stay wherever they are until Allah commands the angels to blow a soul into the womb of a woman when she's pregnant. So all of us were right up there wherever Allah keeps the souls. But when your mother, my mother, got pregnant with us, that's when Allah told the angels, that soul there, blow that one into that woman there. And we were blown into our mother's womb when we were a fetus. But all we were exposed to was whatever we're exposed to up there wherever Allah keeps us. Y'all understand that? And that's why the soul is attracted to bad and dirty. Because wherever Allah keeps the souls, they're not around anything bad and dirty. Because they're somewhere where Allah got them up there. So that's why our natural curiosity, when we come into this world, when Allah blows the soul back into your mother's mother's womb, we're innocent. We're in total submission to Allah. We were moved from wherever Allah keeps us in paradise and put us right there, in our mother's womb. And we are taken care of by the angels of the womb. The angels of the womb are the ones that make sure we get the nourishment from our mother and all of that. But if Allah doesn't want us to live, He'll tell the angels to leave, and that's when your mother will abort you. She'll miscarry you. But if Allah chooses for you to live, those angels care for us when we're in the womb of our mother. So when we are born, we come into this world innocent, not knowing anything, totally dependent on Allah. Allah causes us to forget whatever we knew up there, wherever those souls are being kept. Once we come into this world, we don't remember anything about where we were. But when we come into this world, we do come in believing in Allah, because that's where we were kept, wherever Allah kept us up there. Y'all understand? So that's what the prophet meant when he said the child is born upon the Fitrah. We're born, we come into this world dependent on Allah, believing in Him. But again, the word is not revert, it's convert. Because you're not reverting back to a soul. You're not reverting back to a sperm drop. Okay? But you come into the world innocent, totally dependent on Allah, recognizing la ilaha illallah. And we done forgot everything that we up there. And as we grow up, that's when the parents shape us. The parents help form us. If your parents are Muslim, they're going to nurture you upon Quran. They're going to nurture and feed you upon the Sunnah. Okay? But if your parents are not Muslim, they're going to nurture you upon whatever their belief system is. So that's why until the age of puberty, anything that a child does, it falls on the parents. Because the children are innocent. Our free will has not attached yet. Our free will doesn't play a role until puberty. We're not held accountable for nothing we do because we don't have that choice yet. But then when we reach puberty, that's when the free will occurs. That's when Allah will assign your jinn to you. And that's when we're held accountable for our choices. And so what we're going to talk about today is, like I said, once we leave wherever those souls are kept, we have no memory of that. It's gone. But there's a light within us. There's a light within us that craves to be reminded of Allah. There's a light within us. That's the Fitrah. that Fitrah within the soul. That Fitrah within the soul is craving for that attention from its Lord, the same attention it got when it was up there, wherever it's at. It wants to be in that company. The soul, the Fitrah, wants to be back in the company that it was in before Allah placed it in your mother's womb. That's where we're going to pick up today. So let's put the PowerPoint up. Let me take, and I want you guys to screenshot because this can get very complicated. I'm trying to break it down in plain, simple terms to help you understand in English. I'm not using no Arabic. So there's no excuse for anybody to get confused. Okay, a lot of the Arabic speaking people cannot express themselves in English well. So they just keep using all this Arabic terminology, which makes no sense to English speaking people. So let's put this down. Hold on. I'm on a different computer, so just bear with me. Which one is this? What's the button for that? Oh, it looks so different on this one. Okay, let me go full screen. Okay. And I do, okay, for the people, hold on Zoom. I forgot Zoom. Let me go back to this one, this computer. Today, just to make it easy, since I'm using different computer, I'm going to share you guys with YouTube because it's easier for me today. Oh, look at that. Okay, let me put you guys up here on YouTube. Okay. That's YouTube. Okay, and for the rest of us, let's go to the snow and then, inshallah, to the PowerPoint. Let me see. And don't forget, guys, please take screenshots. There it is. Take screenshots of the PowerPoint and print it out. And let me go this way. And let me make it even bigger. Oh, there it is, full screen. So again, when we are born, we come into this world with no memory of what we experienced when we were up there, kept in the vault where all the other souls are. But even though we don't remember anything that went on, we are craving to be in the company of Allah. We are craving to be back in that beautiful company. So the best way to keep ourselves together is by nourishing the Fitrah, nourishing that innermost part of our soul with the Quran and with the authentic hadiths. And that's what we're going to speak about today, how important it is to nourish the Fitrah of the soul with the Quran. Because if we don't, the soul is going to give in to its curiosity to commit all the bad and dirty things. Okay? So let's go to the second slide. Make sure you guys had screenshot of that first page. Now we're going to this one. Now, every human being's Fitrah, or every human being's inner disposition craves. We crave that connection with the law. We don't remember what went on up there, but we crave that connection. And the only way we can get that connection is from our parents or our schools, our masjids, or our Islamic communities. So this is why, we go on this journey of seeking out masjids, seeking out religion for the non-believers who were raised as kafir. This is what causes them to end up finding Islam, because even though their parents raised them upon a different a belief system, different than what was experienced up there with Allah, the soul is searching for it. Is searching for that contentment it had when it was in its original place up there. So that's why some people find it. They come to Islam and convert to this way of life. And most people don't find it, unfortunately, because again, the soul is criminal by nature, and the desire to commit sin is so good and so great that unfortunately it ends up giving to that. Now, when we speak about the Fitrah, I want y'all to know that every human being has it. It's that inner light, the inner light of the soul. It's like a compass. That's what causes us to recognize the truth. That's what causes us to recognize kindness, goodness, because it works with that free will. Your free will and your Fitrah works hand in hand. Free will is the ability to choose for yourself. The soul is attracted to what's bad for it, but that inner light craves what's good, craves the truth, craves righteousness. Y'all understand? This is what we call jihad an-nafs. This is what we call a struggle between ourselves. Each and every one of us as a human being, every day of our lives, we're struggling. We're struggling between good and evil. We're struggling against that which we're attracted to and that which craves what's good and clean. It's an internal battle that we all endure, and that battle is never going to end until Allah takes our soul. And what causes the Fitrah, or the innermost light of the soul, to become content is the Quran and the Hadiths. Because again, the Fitrah, it can't remember what happened up there, but it can recognize when the Quran is being recited, it calms down because it's something that it recognizes. When we talk about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions, the Fitrah recognizes that and it calms down. Whenever we go to pray, the Fitrah recognizes that because that's what the angels do. The angels spend most of their time up there in the heavens praying. So that's why, people, we as humans, we are on this journey for knowledge, for religion, for closeness to the Creator. But the only closeness is through Islam, nothing else. Okay? So as Muslims, this is why the Prophet Muhammad told the companions and us to nourish our soul with the Quran, to remember Allah as often as we can, because that's what calms the Fitrah, and that's what satisfies its need. And then when you satisfy the Fitrah, it then can help to resist the urges to do bad from the soul. So it's all about trying to maintain that connection with Allah, because that guarantees the clarity and sanctity of the Fitrah. It also provides direction and instructions as to how we can navigate through the complexities of life while upholding truth, while upholding justice, compassion, and those beautiful values that the soul experienced when it was up there in whatever vault Allah keeps it in with the others. And Allah speaks about this in the Quran. When you read the verse where Allah says, light upon light, light upon light, as this refers to the inner light of the soul, which is the Fitrah, and the outer light being the Quran. And this is what Ibn Abbas explained to us in his tafsir of the Quran. And remember, Ibn Abbas was one of the original companions. He understands this religion better than those that came after him. He understands the Quran better than Ibn Kathir. Ibn Kathir was not even a companion. Okay? He understands that Quran better than Hudama. He understands the Quran better than Ibn Taymiyyah, better than Sheikh Albani, better than anybody you know, because he was one of the original companions who the Prophet Muhammad made dua for, asking Allah to give him a deep understanding of the Quran. So Ibn Abbas lets us know when Allah speaks in the Quran, when he says light upon light, he's referring to that light within the soul known as the Fitrah, being nourished by the light of the Quran. Because everybody understand that. So the Fitrah and the Quran work together to cause us, the individual, to strengthen their faith, do good deeds, and fulfill what they were created to do. Okay, the body is what houses the soul. The Fitrah is the inner light of it, where the soul is trying to jump into the fire. The Fitrah is craving Allah, his company, the company of the angels, the company of all the righteous beings that it was around up there. That's light upon light. So you satisfy that light by pondering the meaning of the Quran and also the hadiths, taking the teachings of Allah, taking Allah's guidance, incorporating it into your life and implementing it in your life, practicing it. Then you'll find contentment. And this is also why the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said the believer is never happy in this world. We only experience moments of contentment, but our happiness won't come until we cross that bridge to paradise, because the Fitrah will never find what it had up there in this world. It's never, like I said, it's constantly searching for that connection to Allah. It's never going to get that connection and be in Allah's company 24/7 like it was until it went into your mother's womb. So that's another reason why this world is not a paradise for us. The Fitrah won't be happy unless it's back in the company, light upon light, the company of its Lord, the company of those angels, the company of the Buraka, the company of the El Hurin, whatever's in its company up there. I hope I'm making sense to you guys. Okay? So the Quran is a light, a guiding light. And the Fitrah is the light within the soul that recognize goodness. Okay? So those two lights work hand in hand, and those two lights are interdependent upon each other. So as Muslims, we live each day of our life trying to strengthen the Fitrah, strengthen that inner light, and improve our spiritual well-being. And we try to remain steadfast in the challenges that Allah presents us in life. Just like those Palestinians in Gaza, they're handling their problems with no problem. They're not freaking out like you weak-blooded Muslims all over the world are. This is an everyday part of life for them. They're handling their problems, facing it with integrity, with resolution and faith, not giving in to the temptations, not giving in to the misery that they're surrounded by. That's how we're all supposed to be living. Okay? Because again, the Fitrah, that innermost light within us, it realizes that we're just here temporarily. It realizes that this place is a testing ground for us. And again, it wants to be back in the presence of Allah. Okay? So, as Muslims, we work hand in hand. The Quran and Sunnah is important in our life. That's why I had to ban whatever that Dio Bondi woman, she was a Dio Bondi, the woman that was in here last night when I was teaching about the articles of faith. I'm telling y'all that Islam is based on the Quran and Sunnah, and she's sitting there saying, no, it ain't. It's based on fatwa. That's a sign of a person with a mental problem who got some serious Aqidah issues. A fatwa ain't gonna do nothing to nourish the fitrah of your soul. The only thing that can nourish the fitrah is the Quran and the authentic hadith. And when we nourish it with those two things, that's when our actions and all of that become righteous and good. You keep on following them fatwas, you end up just like her with some serious issues, okay, and having to be banned from the presence of the people of the truth. All right. And unfortunately today, guys, it's so hard to maintain this light within ourselves because our environments are so opposite of that. That's why, as we talked about in the first book, it's important for us, for those of you who convert to Islam, it's important for you, before you even think about marriage, to find a good Islamic community, to surround yourself with good Muslims, an Islamic environment that has classes and an Islamic school for your children and things like that. Because the light within you, that fitrah, is going to be constantly seeking Allah. But there's so many things that can contribute to the light being put out within us, such as carelessness, negligence, ignorance, heedlessness, and Shaitan himself. Because Shaitan is always working against us. Shaitan has his allies. He has his allies amongst the jinn, and he has his allies amongst the humans. Just like that woman that interrupted our class yesterday, who I had to ban. I consider her an awliya of Shaitan, because it's awful strange. She appeared in my stream right when we were talking about the first three generation of Muslims being the best. And it's awful strange. The more I kept quoting those hadiths about the saved set, the more she kept talking about fatwa. It's all about fatwa. That's an awliya of Shaitan. Shaitan has his helpers, his supporters, who are going to do everything to extinguish the light of your fitrah. Shaitan has his allies that's going to do everything to cause your fitrah to become careless, negligent, not pray, not fast, ignorant, not seek knowledge of the religion, and heedless, to continue disobeying Allah. So this is why it's important for us to surround ourselves with strong Muslims who are upon the straight path. Because without an Islamic environment that will support and reinforce the fitrah, your soul is going to fall into the evil that it's attracted to. And there's also certain dangers that our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us to beware of. And we're going to talk about them beginning tomorrow. But I just want to go over some of these dangers, some of the things that will cause the fitrah, that inner light within you, known as the fitrah, to burn out. Again, number one is not being in a religious environment. And number two, giving in to your desires. The soul wants to smoke marijuana. The soul wants to have love by fornicating. So we have to learn how to not give in to the desires of the soul. And also Shaitan, your personal jinn. He's going to be whispering into your heart, trying to get you to do bad things. That can extinguish the light of the Fitrah. And again, heedlessness and forgetfulness. Your personal jinn will cause you to forget everything that you learned that was good. And so tomorrow, what we're going to do in this class, we're going to talk about the influence of environment, how your personal environment can extinguish the light within your soul known as the Fitrah. Okay? But for today, I'm going to stop with that and give you a quiz because I want to take this slow. When it comes to talking about the Fitrah, like I said, a lot of people that speak Arabic don't explain it well because they keep falling back on Arabic terminology that non-Arabs don't understand. And then the English-speaking people that I've listened to, they don't understand it well enough themselves to talk about it. They end up reading some fatwa, you know. So I'm going to take this slow because I like the way Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid broke this down. And he gave the hadiths to support everything. He's telling us about the Fitrah as taught to us by Allah and the Prophet, not somebody's fatwa. So we're going to take that slow. So for today, let me give you a quiz. And here's the first question. Everybody get ready. The human soul is attracted to that which is bad and dirty. But the Fitrah craves which of the following? Does it crave Allah's guidance? Does it crave what's good and clean? Does it crave a faith-filled environment? Or does it crave all of the above?
All of the above.
You guys agree with her answer? She said all of the above. Does everybody agree?
Yeah.
People, okay.
Yeah.
Good job. Exactly. That all of the above. Good job. This is what the Fitrah craves. All of this. Okay, what about this? Fitrah. This is a word that refers to recognizing what? Truth and falsehood. That which is clean and dirty. Kindness. Goodness. Or all of the above. What do you guys think?
All of the above.
Does everybody agree? All of the above? Are they typing the same thing on YouTube too?
Agree.
MashaAllah, exactly. The Fitrah, it means with that truth and falsehood, kindness, goodness, because that's how we were when we were put in our mother's womb, when we first came from wherever Allah keeps us. We recognize truth and falsehood. We recognize what's clean and dirty. We recognize kindness and goodness. Okay, good job. What about this? The Fitrah is the light within ourselves, or is it the human soul? Or is it the heart? Or is it none of the above? Or all of the above? Which one is the Fitrah?
The light within ourselves.
You guys agree?
I do. Yeah.
Good job. That's the answer. I wanted to make sure. The Fitrah is not the soul. It's the light within the soul. Okay, the soul. The Fitrah is the light within the soul. It is not the soul. Everybody understand? But the soul has a light in it. And that little light is the Fitrah. Good job. And what is meant by when Allah says light upon light? What is meant by the term light upon light? What is meant by that? Light upon light.
The nourishment from the Quran.
You guys agree with her answer? She said the nourishment from the Quran. Y'all agree? The nourishment of what?
The nourishment of the light within the Quran. So light within light. The inner light.
Good job. Good job. So this is the light, the Fitrah, being nourished by the Quran. Good job. Light upon light. My inner light, which is the Fitrah, being litten or lighted by the Quran, guided by the Quran. Good job. And I think this is the last one. Our inner light or our inner Fitrah is only strengthened by what two things? What are the two things that can strengthen it?
The Quran and the Sunnah.
You guys agree? The Quran and the Sunnah, or the Quran and the Hadith? Y'all agree?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I believe so.
Exactly. Yeah. Good job. So that's it. Go. Amina Fresno, you did really good. You got them answers. So I guess if Amina Fresno understood, then that's a sign to me that I explained it right. Seriously, guys. She understood. So that means, oh, by the way, I'm trying to wait a minute, what's on the screen? Oh, I forgot I'm on a different computer. Where am I at? Okay, I need to come out of you guys. Go back to here.
Snow.
Okay, I got the snow. So wait a minute. I'm on a different computer. I forgot how to work it. Wait a minute. So I got to go back to Zoom. Okay, wait a minute. Get this out the way. Where's my, okay, there's Zoom. And oh, I got to let go of that. Am I screen sharing? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, y'all. I'm on a different computer. Wait a minute. I ain't used to using this. Wait a minute. I done opened up another window. What is this? Where am I? Oh, I got to work this. I'm sorry. I go here, click here, allow. And then I go here, click here, and this shit. But why come I don't see me? Am I screen sharing? Oh, yeah, I am. Cut the screen off. Okay. Is that me now? Yeah, okay.
There we go.
Okay, it's weird. Yeah, so I think if Amina Fresno understood it, then that means I must have broke it down pretty good. So is all this clear, guys? I want to make sure you have to understand this before I can move any forward anymore, because it can get confusing. So I hope all this is clear. The Fitrah. Now, do y'all see why it bothers me when people call themselves revert? You're not a revert. You're a convert. You're not reverting back to a sperm. You're not reverting back to the soul. You're just you're a convert. You found the truth. For those people who convert to Islam, they found their way back home. The soul is always on a journey, trying to find its way back home. It wants to be back up there in the company, the presence it was in. Because nothing is like that. So the soul is always going on this journey, trying to find its way back home, trying to find its master, the master, which is Allah. That's why we don't find happiness in this world. This world is nothing compared to the up there. You wonder. I had one sister call me today. She just got married. She got married 6 months ago, and she's miserable. She told me it ain't because she got a bad husband. It ain't one of those stories. She said, Layla, my husband is a good man, and he takes care of me. I'm not going through. She said, but I'm just miserable. I said, why are you miserable? She said, because it's not what I thought. I said, what do you mean? She said, I thought that when I got married, I'd be living on this high for the rest of my life. She believed in a fairy tale. She watched too much TV. When she thought that getting married to this man, she would then go off into the sunset and live happily ever after. She said, but it's not like that. She said that feeling is gone. I mean, she said she loves her husband, and I understood exactly what she meant. She said, I love him, but I'm not on that high like I was before I married him. I said, welcome to reality. You got a reality check. That's all. I said, there is no happily ever after until we cross that Sirat bridge. Everything in this world is temporary. Our enjoyment, Allah tells us in the Quran, our enjoyments in this world are short-lived. And that's what Dr. Asim was speaking about in his class this past Saturday. So many of us get caught up in social media, television, movies, books of this happily ever after. It doesn't exist. The Fitrah knows that. The Fitrah knows that it's never going to have that feeling unless it gets back up there. It's trying to find its way back home. So I had to calm this sister down and tell her, sister, just, you know, this is the real world. Live each day as if it were your last day. There is no happily ever after. At least you did marry a good man who's taking care of you, who's doing what he's supposed to do. I told her he has to work. She thought that she would get married and her and him would just sit there and look at each other and be happily ever after. No, he got to go to work. He got to come home and get sleep. Then he got to get up and go back to work. Then he got to come home and get sleep again. And so that's what she can't understand, the regular routine. Now that after 6 months, her marriage is the regular routine. And she gets up, do her housework, watch TV, come to her class here, then cook dinner. The same old routine. She said, where's the happily ever after? I told her there ain't no happily ever after until you cross that Sirat bridge. The reality. Yeah. Okay, any questions or comments?
I have a question. When you said the factors that can extinguish our Fitrah, does this mean it's like corrupted for good? Or do we need,
if you allow it?
And I have another question.
Some people fall into drugs. You have you ever seen a crackhead? I mean, an alcoholic? Yeah, some people's Fitrah is corrupted for good. That's why it's going to be more people in hell than paradise. If the Fitrah wasn't corrupted, it would be Muslim. You know, if the Fitrah got what it needed, it would submit. It's looking for submission to Allah. Okay, it's looking to submit itself to Allah. If you don't teach it, it's the religion. That's why I tell y'all, that's why Allah says in the Quran, seeking knowledge is an obligation. You can't just depend on your husband to come and tell you what he wants you to know. You better get up and find a teacher. The Fitrah is always craving. Why is it that Sabrine can't pull herself away from this computer even though she's sick? Why is it that Anissa, 100 years old, could be dying, but on her deathbed with that cell phone cannot pull herself away from my classes? Because that's that Fitrah. The Fitrah wants to hear about its Lord. The Fitrah loves its Lord. Layla talks about Allah all the time. Layla talks about the Prophet Muhammad all the time. The angels. So that's why these sisters are stuck to my Zoom room. Because they got to hear it. The Fitrah is craving it. Without my classes, they tell you they're lost. That's their inner light. The Fitrah is lost. The Fitrah is now in the real world. Oh my God, I'm exposed to people who drink, people who smoke, people who curse, people. Take me to my Lord. The Fitrah craves to be in the company of Allah. Why do y'all think I don't go nowhere? Like I tell my family, why do I stay at home teaching all the time? That's my fitrah. It wants to be reminded of Allah. Stay in his presence. Hear his words. Hear his words. I don't want to go out there and listen to that rap music. I don't want to hear about sex, drugs, rock and roll. I still can't get the 80s, the 60s, 70s, and 80s out my mind. Look what those years did to my head. Everything's a song. I listened to my lecture yesterday. I had the nerve to say what love got to do with it. Did y'all know that? See, look how the 60s, 70s, and 80s corrupted my little fitrah. You know, I ain't going nowhere. I'm staying in my house teaching Islam. And my fitrah is happy. It's content. It ain't happy, it's content. Yeah, that's the inner light. But yeah, some people's inner light is extinguished. A lot of people's is Shaitan's is gone. All of his awliya is gone. I think that chick that was in here yesterday, her fitrah, it looks like it's extinguished too, where she was ranting and raving about fatwas. Yeah, a lot of people's light is gone. Remember when Allah even tells us in the Quran, whenever you turn away from him, he's going to assign 2 jinns to you. Yeah, some people lose it completely. Yeah. Yeah, very good question. Yeah, any other questions? Yeah. Okay, also, guys, I want to let y'all know tonight at 9 p.m., you know, I have the heroines of this. Oh, excuse me, my tongue. The heroines of Islam. I'm doing the story of Hiram. And let me order something right quick. I wanted a Starbucks. Let me get it going now. I was gonna drive to get one. I ain't going out. It's just too cold outside. I can't do it. But yeah, so tonight at 9 o'clock, I'm going to do the story of Hiram. And I put the video on YouTube and Facebook. And again, let me remind y'all that this Friday, inshallah, this Friday, Sheikh Morsi will pop in and to help me with the Q&A show this Friday on my Q&A show, inshallah. Y'all get to see him in person, inshallah. All right, so I'm going to sign out for right now because I still have to finish my PowerPoint. My internet went out earlier. Ain't that crazy? I'm telling you, it's weird. I kept my laptop on because I was using my other connection. But now that it seems like this one is stable, I'm going to try to finish the PowerPoint for the 9 o'clock class. So inshallah, I'm going to log out right now and I'll be back here at 9. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk, guys. I'll be back at 9.